Good morning. April Tribe Juke here. I have a tough topic. I'm trying to help you see the red flags of abusive people. And we're going to talk about caged animals today. And there's three specific things. So the first thing with a caged animal is their characteristics. Like, what are they like? Well, first of all, inside themselves, they feel trapped. They feel like they don't have any control, and they live their life in a sense of paranoia. Everything's kind of always on the edge, but they hold it in, and the abuse just doesn't come spilling out, and they don't have this intense piece of rage necessarily. It's more of the mental health, the mental illness that is happening because of possible past trauma or abuse, some type of event, something growing up, and it's an accumulation of something. And so they don't trust. That's the biggest part about these characteristics of caged animals. The second piece is that what do they kind of look like? Last week when we talked about hunters, they're ready, they're out there, they're outgoing. Caged animals are different. They might have a shy look about them. They might feel scared. They have this tendency to share something like, a deep secret with you to help connect to you. And those are good things to share in relationships, but sometimes they offer it as a sense of trust. And in that tag of the trust, if there's any time where they themselves feel that you have betrayed it, and you won't know that until a little bit later, they are not very outgoing. They kind of hang back. They look, I would say, kind of conservative. They have that history of, just kind of playing it cool and kind of in the back. And that is also kind of attractive. They're not the aggressive type, the out there type. So we usually kind of swing between these two, the super, super outgoing. And so that didn't work. So go over here to this other side. So just be careful, is that sometimes when we see that, we look, oh, poor people, and we have this rescue kind of syndrome or this need to try and rescue and save. So be careful with that. The third is that caged animals, they will never trust you. I know I mentioned that in the first one. This is why they will never trust you. Because each time you approach them, they don't know if you are there to help them or to hurt them. They don't know. From past experiences, most likely they've been hurt. And in that hurt, they build up and cage and protect themselves. So they kind of, in turn, build their own cage. And that's this mental health part, because it is the month of May that we want to be aware of. In that, they will kind of pull you in, get their needs met, whatever it is that they have going on, but ultimately they still keep you out and safe. Then the paranoia really sets in, and it's that trust issue. They just, sometimes it overwhelms them, and then turning into drugs and alcohol abuse are more likely in their cases. Now, drugs and alcohol can be used in like in a hunter's case, but it's for a different reason. This is really to numb, to hide, to push down, to leave, to escape, to do something that is different. So, what are the warnings? What are these red flags, so that we can be aware that we're not going to swing from one relationship side to the other? So many caged animals, they do have the challenges with mental illness, and those characteristics, they last. And in their actions, they usually will draw you in, but then something will happen that you don't even realize was a trigger for them. And when that trigger happens, all of a sudden you are put off, and you're pushed out, you're pushed away, and they're backed into the corner ready to strike. And again, you try to reapproach, but as they strike, now suddenly it is in this abusive pattern. And it's different than just a cycle. It's this center wheel, and then they will use their differences to strike out with. And we're that nurturing, and we want to try and help. And what if we could maybe comfort them differently than someone else? We will never be able to do that. We're too close. We're too close to the cage. We have this connection. It's just too close. This is for an outside person, a professional, to help with. They have the skill sets and all of that. Even if, hey, we've got skills, maybe we're even psychologists or whatever, the point is it's too close. And they will never trust. They don't know if you are there, again, to help them or to hurt them. And so they will strike out. those are my warnings today with the whole fact of how to recognize someone who abuses. And in the caged animal, it is a whole different thing. If you feel like you need some help with this and you might be questioning some relationships you've had in the past or that you're currently in, I would encourage you to reach out, to do some reading, to do some research for yourself. And I'm always here. You can email me at apriltribe.com, April at apriltribe.com. If you want to reach out or ask any help, also my website, because I'd like to direct you into different places so that you can be free of these types of tendencies, because we want you healthy, you're worth it, you have that value and light within yourself as well. So that's all I have for today. Thank y'all for joining, supporting, and being a part of this great work.